Hello, capital budgeting is what we'll be talking about today, how to analyze investments and opportunities. Many companies talk about this a lot. My company that I work for does talk about this a lot, and that's why I picked this. They talk about how to analyze and identify investment opportunities that create short and long-term cash and profit opportunities. And this kind of goes hand in hand working for a public company and how to continuously grow as a company, be profitable, and stay relevant. The fundamentals of capital budgeting. Intro, identify, apply, ethics, closing, and reference. And like I said on the previous slide, I chose capital budgeting because we talk about this type of thing a lot at work. And when I started reading through the chapters, this chapter really stood out to me because of that. How to identify opportunities to buy other companies, to invest money in our digital space, grow our audience, and increase the value in our company while driving up the value of stocks. It's really important to understand capital budgeting, the technical terminology behind it. Like I said, we talk about this a lot at work, but I didn't realize there was an actual name for it. There's a process for it. There's incremental earnings to understand, free cash flow, and just overall options in the end that we'll talk about in more detail here in a moment. There is a process behind capital budgeting when a company invests its money. Like I said, understanding the incremental earnings, free cash flow options all affect the decision companies make when investing in other companies. And for example, we bought DealerRater last year. So we're the largest review platform in the automotive space, and we were bidding on 3 other companies at the same time. We were bidding on a company, AutoTrader Canada, DealerRater, and I forget the other 2. We were outbid, or other companies bid more for the other companies than what we were willing to bid. This is what my CEO told me at the time, that we could get a quick turnaround on our return on investment and be impactful enough with the product in a 3-year period to pay for it and be profitable. So how capital budgeting works. To create the list for investments, firms need to analyze investment opportunities and decide which ones to accept and bid on through their capital budgeting process. And it takes into consideration future consequences for the company and how it affects revenue. So explanation, capital budget lists the projects and investments that a company plans to undertake during the next period. And just to reference what I was speaking about in the previous slide, when we did win the bid on DealerRater and we ended up buying it, we were taking into consideration multiple things when we were bidding on these other companies. How quickly could we turn around and pay for the company? Pay back the amount that it cost us to buy the company, and how quickly could we turn that product into profitable revenue in the market. And while we have a 3-year plan in place, I think we're going to be able to hit the goal within a 12-month period because we're already trending above goal. Good. So capital budgeting, how this impacts at every level. Entry level, mid-level, and executive level professions. I really feel like this talks to the options application portion of capital budgeting, just from my experience as a manager working at different levels within the company that I work for. Application options to delay commitment. The option to time a particular investment is really important, whether it's the timing in the market, the trending of the year, is the product conducive to the consumer base, to the customer base? Will it be profitable? So delaying a commitment really plays into this. Sometimes when we beta test products, they don't do well, so we delay the product, or we take a loss on it, we shut it off. Option to expand, the option to start with limited production, expand only if the product is successful. I used to pilot and beta test new digital products for the company I work for, and out of 6 or 7 products that we beta tested, we only launched 2 because the other products were not successful. We didn't have a high consumer engagement rate. If we didn't have a high engagement rate, we couldn't prove or talk to the value of the product. If consumers didn't find value in the product, we certainly couldn't sell it to our customer base and have it be profitable. So then we go to the abandonment option, and the option for an investor to cease investing in a project. Abandonment options can add value to a project because a firm can drop a project if it turns out to be unsuccessful. And that's what we did with those products that we owned internally. But sometimes you run into a case where we invested in another company. I won't say the name of the company, but we only have a 45% share in the company. So we can't have total control over the company. And the company, this product for this particular company has not been successful. We only have a penetration rate of 3% across the market, and it's not profitable. I ran a pilot team focused on being product experts on selling the product. And we went from net negative units to double-digit profitable units every month with a focus on the product. And now we've taken that model and we've implemented it across all markets. And we have product matter experts in every market because it drives more revenue. So at every level, entry-level professionals, mid-level professionals, and CEOs or executive leadership, understanding that there are different levels and options when it comes to capital budgeting is really important, because if a product is not going to be successful at any of these levels, you need to understand and acknowledge and accept that you're just going to have to discontinue using the product. The executive levels will read the research that the mid-level managers handled in the marketplace, and the entry-level managers ask the reps to sell at when we choose these beta markets. So it affects every level of management or professionals within the company I work for when it comes to beta testing and piloting new products. And can they be successful or will they not be successful? And if not, let's drop it, move on, and the why behind it. Ethics. Proverbs 10:4. Poor is he who works with a negligent hand, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. I firmly believe in the ethics of hard work and working and doing the right things for the right reason. And if something is a failure, it's okay. Just let it go and move on and focus on successful wins and successful products and opportunities. And in closing, understanding how capital budgeting works will help your company stay profitable, valuable, and relevant long term for its employees and its customers. And we have our references.